some bunnies with a Baduka dunk.
Way downtown. Bang! Bang!
Mama, there goes that man.
Welcome to A Tribe Called Swish. This is your boy B Moore and J Moore. Welcome to our newest episode 25, man. We're getting up there, you know?
We getting up there.
So I think before we get into it, like, subscribe, share. Don't be a hater your whole life. So how's it going, J Moore? What's good?
J Moore, man, for me, what's going on? What's new in the J Moore world? Going golfing today. Need a little bit of redemption from, last week. Shanking every shot, but everything's been going good, living life, feeling blessed as always. What about you, B More?
All good, man. No complaints. Just living life, man. Everything's all good on this part. So look, we have entered the fall. We're in September, so you know what that means. It's NFL season, it's football season. So even though we're mostly a basketball podcast, we're not dumb. Football is big, so we're going to talk about some football, just a little bit, just a few minutes of football. But week one wasn't bad. I mean, I'm gonna kick it off with the Ravens versus Bills last night. So this is my moment of truth. When it was 40-25, I laid down and I said this game was over. And luckily for me, my TV was still on. And for some reason, I opened my eyes with like 2 minutes left. And I saw the Ravens absolutely fall apart.
Yo, that game saved my fantasy. Listen, that game. So I watched that game. I think I missed like maybe one quarter. I knew with the Bills, like they're a team full of resiliency, which is why I like them so much. Like they never fold. Like other teams just like run the ball, run the clock out, and like whatever. But the Bills, them boys are hungry. And the thing is, like they don't have any big stars on their team. The only person they have on their team is Josh Allen, the QB, that like led the charge on the comeback with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Josh Allen keeps doing these magic tricks, and that's all I can call them, because it's crazy. As you say, he doesn't have this super skilled receiver that he has, right?
No.
He doesn't really is a team of good receivers, 2 good tight ends. James Cook is a decent running back, but he just makes it work. He made throws last night like off balance against his body. That throw in the fourth quarter to Shakir in the middle of the field, like what is no, actually that was right before the half. Like what is happening? Like why? The throw to Coleman down the side, like he's just making these throws. And
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I just don't understand how he keeps getting this done. Like I'm thinking back and I can't compare him to anybody that can remember. Like a part of me feels like Steve McNair maybe, but it's just something about what he does with who he does it with is just, I don't know, man.
Bro, it's literally crazy. And it also like it makes you raise questions of like, if Patrick Mahomes has been in these type of situations, but like, I think he has a winning record in like clutch moments in the fourth quarter. But the ones where it's like he could have done something to keep the team motivated to actually win, like it's not always there. But like Josh Allen last night proved that he is a verified NFL MVP. His arm is spectacular. And honestly, if I were to run a franchise and I had to pick 2 quarterbacks or 1 quarterback to build my franchise around, I'd probably go Josh Allen
over Mahomes.
I'd do it. I do it. And I love Patrick Mahomes.
Okay,
but Josh Allen, man.
All right, hold on. Let's okay. Pump your brakes. All right. Look, if the Kansas City Chiefs were ever able to decide to, I don't know, draft a real number 1 receiver, I don't know, maybe bring some receiver over that could run anything other than a 5-yard out or a 2 or a 3-yard slant. Look, Mahomes have been working with limited talent and skill positions for the last 3 seasons.
Stop it.
They've gotten worse. Now, I would put the skill position players in Buffalo better than what Kansas City has. And that's not saying much, but I'm just saying they're better. Because if Juju Smith-Schuster is your number one receiver, do you have a number one receiver?
I mean, they had one. One is suspended, and then the other one's hurt.
Hollywood Brown in that game, like I watched a part of that game, and Kansas City their offenses looks just so terrible. I mean, Hollywood Brown caught 10 passes because nobody else could. Travis Kelce accidentally ran into Xavier Worthy.
Running through the halls of my house, screaming, "We drafted Xavier Worthy!" No, I was screeching. I couldn't believe it. I was freaking out.
There's an internet rumor that Kelce was upset because Xavier Worthy was Taylor Swift's favorite player. So I don't know. I'm not saying that he did it on purpose, but I'm also not saying he did it on purpose.
Hey man, if my wife said, "You're not my favorite player," it's the other skinny black guy. Yeah. Oh yeah, all day I accidentally ran into him. Now the favorite player is out indefinitely. Who's your favorite tight end, baby?
It's wild. But yeah, listen, Josh Allen he's playing out of his mind. Mm-hmm. I can't put him over Mahomes yet. And a lot has to do with we haven't seen Josh Allen in that biggest spot. And I mean, what I think is going to happen is if Josh Allen gets to the Super Bowl, do we start looking at Lamar Jackson and the Ravens funny? Because they got questions to be answered. They're coughing up games. I mean, Harbaugh. I mean, is Harbaugh the right coach? I mean, there are a lot of questions that has to be asked about the Baltimore Ravens team.
Listen, I have so many thoughts on the Ravens. You have, honestly, two of the best, the most amazing players on your team, best rushers, honestly, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Like, you literally can't lose with those two. But they do. And it's not, and you can't blame it on scheming. It's literally not that. I don't think that's a fair thing to say, like, oh, is it the coach? No, it's not. It's literally you have to force Lamar Jackson to throw the ball. It's not like he has bad receivers. His team, like, if you really think about it, the Bills and the Ravens are basically evenly matched. The Ravens just have a better rush game than they do because they have freaking Derrick Henry. He's 250, running a 4.3. And then you got a scrawny 6'2", 210-pound Lamar Jackson that runs at the speed of light. Like, you can't lose.
But they do. And I don't even blame on their offense at this point. I think we got to look at the defense because the defense is the one that gave up 41 points. Like, this isn't, I think the Steelers have gone to this, and now I think it's the Ravens' turn. Yeah. We can't keep looking at these current teams through our historical lenses. Ray Lewis and Ed Reed isn't out there right now. Now, I'm not saying the Ravens' defense isn't good because Kyle Hamilton is a monster, probably the best safety in the league. Yeah. But there is something about that Ravens defense that they can't hold a lead against this Buffalo team. Now, last year, you want to blame Mark Andrews for dropping the passes. Cool.
One pass. That's the crazy thing.
Right. What happened last night? No, bro. You got to be able to hold. You got to be able to control 15 points in what I think was like 5 minutes left. They were up 15. Yes. You have to be able to hold that down. And the offense scored 40 points. 40. Like what? Like what? So that's why I can't even turn it on the offensive side of the ball. We're just used to doing that when it comes to Baltimore. No, the offense scored 40, and you could not keep this team to 39. Like that is wild. And not only that, Buffalo messed up like 3 2-point conversions. So it's
and still came back and won.
Right.
My thing is this, right? I was laughing so hard when Baltimore lost last night. Okay. I was laughing so hard and it made me so happy because I saw this particular player get cooked left and right and he was made to touch the floor. Jair Alexander, the biggest trash talker from Green Bay, talking about I'm the best corner in the league. Granted, there's cornerbacks who get you get caught up in a couple of routes, right? Nah. In clutch moments, this dude got cooked. He was left. Josh Palmer caught a clutch corner route to him over him. Bro.
Exactly.
Josh Palmer over bro. Then Keon Coleman did a little and he touched the ground. He said, I bow down to you. Bro, it makes you question, it's the discipline of the defense. Defense is a really, really hard side of the ball. I played on both sides of the ball before. Defense is really hard, and they have a lot of pressure too.
Yeah.
Because especially in close games like this, everyone's got to be on their P's and Q's. If you may give up a big play, you're done. You either get pulled off the field or your mistake is amplified. And I think that they need to change their defensive scheming because they dropped back in zone way too much and they left a giant hole in their defense. And so Roquan Smith, he's doing his part, but these other guys, they got to step up. You have Kyle Hamilton and Jair Alexander and Roquan Smith on your defense, and you gave up 40 points.
41.
You quite frankly have probably one of the top 3 of your players on defense are probably the top 50 defensive players in the league right now.
Right.
That's crazy.
So you made something mention. So we're going to kind of move on a little bit. You mentioned how that game last night saved your fantasy team.
Yeah.
So that game last night is probably going to cost me my fantasy week 1. So both for context for everyone listening. So both me and Josh, we have fantasy teams. We're not in the same league this year. Next year we're going to make that happen.
Yes.
But we both have fantasy teams. We both run our fantasy teams, and for me, I was up. I think 20 or 30 points. The person I'm playing, he had Derrick Henry and James Cook, right? So now I am down 25 points. So I have a chance. I still have DeAndre Swift and I have Aaron Jones playing. So it's gonna be tight because neither one of those guys I have utmost faith in. Going into this week, I just needed them to get 12 points. That was my goal, 10 to 12, just to keep, because I knew Jalen Hurts was going to do his thing. He's my quarterback. My receiver, my running backs are pretty deep, but I thought that they would be fine and that I would be fine. And Derrick Henry decides to have one of his best career nights. James Cook got extra point because he caught that long pass in the second half. Yeah. So I don't know. It might be 0-1 for me after the night. How is your team looking?
I'm 1-0. So Josh Allen and Derrick Henry saved my fantasy. So I was projected to have 112 points from my matchup. I have 140 points. And I beat my matchup. He only had 96. So you guys can do the math. Yeah. So Hollywood Brown, 19 points. Chris Boswell, 14 points for the Steelers. Dallas Goedert had 11. Isaiah Pacheco, though, I'm super pissed about him. 4 points.
Yeah, me too.
Crazy. Derrick Henry, 29. Tyreek Hill, 8. Brian Thomas Jr., 9. Josh Allen, 38 points.
Wild. Yeah.
Listen.
And look, for people listening, to set additional content for Josh's team, right? We opted to go out that night of his draft. He was supposed to be able to draft and then go out. Some shenanigans happened. They moved his draft later. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna put this on auto pick and we're gonna roll. And so he sacrificed his team for the good of one night, hanging out with me. So so Jay Moore is a real one.
Yeah. Night well spent. Listen, man.
For sure.
Shout out to auto drafts, man. Like, that was crazy. Like, the fact that I even got Derrick Henry, and I traded for Josh Allen too.
Oh, nice.
I traded for Josh Allen. I think I gave away oh man, I can't remember who I gave away. I think I gave away like Quishon Judkins or something like that for Josh Allen and something else. Yeah, so bro.
Now, a word from our sponsors.
Slim, fine woman, but she got some thicker friends. Everybody rocking once the liquor kicking in. Dancing real slow, but my heart is beating fast. Bust it open for me like a wide mouth bass. Feeling so high every time you drop it low. It's a wild ride, welcome to the rodeo. Try my best not to do too much. Hips real wide like a dually truck. Think she can break this Bronco. Ride that horse, baby, ooh, she tough. Chocolate brown, no vanilla bean. She the finest thing I ever seen. Got a face that is so nice, and a walk that is so mean. Watch the cookie while she do the do-si-do. It's a wild ride, welcome to the rodeo. A whole lot of money for these boots that's on my feet. Been a long time coming, but I made it through the week. It's been hard work, honey, so I'm talking to you sweet.
All right, we're gonna transition to Angel Reese. So we're going from fantasy football to some real basketball drama in the WNBA. Yeah. Angel Reese, which is a weird suspension. So she already had a suspension due to technicals, I think, on Friday, and then it suspended her for a half because she told the Chicago Tribune, and I quote, "I'm not settling for this same that we did this year. We got to get great players off season, or I might consider moving on." So they suspended her for comments detrimental to the team. I mean, she's honest. I think we've seen this before from other players in other sports where they're kind of really begging management to improve the team. But with their team, they're out of playoff contention. I think they were already eliminated. Yeah, they're 10-31. Is this the right time for that? You guys, your team is already bad. You're out of the playoffs. Rumor has it your shoes aren't selling. So is this really, is this really the right time? Should this have waited until like the postseason and then when she has like her postseason interview when she goes her media rounds? But I think Chicago had every right to suspend her.
I don't think they should have suspended her. I think they only suspended her because she's been so outspoken too much. Mm-hmm. And I think that like I get it. I get why you suspended Angel Reese. Do I agree with it? No. I think they should have backed her and been like, we understand. Or the team, I don't know if the team even likes Angel Reese, honestly. But like everyone knows that they're not good. They haven't been good, I don't know, in a while, I think since
Candace Parker.
Since Candace Parker left.
Yeah.
So like they're like, yo, we're trying to get back to our glory days. So you draft someone that's hungry and passionate, but your team really doesn't care. Like, if you read their team's comments from a couple players, they're like, yo, I'm out of it. Like, I don't really have nothing to say about it. I'm just, basically I'm just here to get a check and call it a day and go home. Like my $15,000 check and go home. And then like, I think it's, you can go both ways with it. I don't think she deserved to get a suspension. I think she deserved to have support of a franchise for someone that's supposed to be the face of the franchise. Chicago Sky did her dirty. She already had a suspension for technicals. You don't need to suspend her for social media comments. You could have just said she'll go to like social media PR training or something and just call it a day.
But so it wasn't social media. It was to the local newspaper. She was interviewed by Chicago Tribune.
Yeah.
So my thing, but this happens across the board.
Mhm.
Like anytime any player, listen, we've seen in different extremes. We've seen the whole TO thing working
Yeah.
out. He wanted a contract extension, and he was like, "You guys don't love me as much as Donovan McNabb." We've had players like Randy Moss who like I don't play all the time. So we've had different players be outspoken. We've also had different players criticize their organization directly.
Yeah.
It's kind of comes to territory. Yes, it's sports, but sports is still a job. Like you can't go to your job and then hold a press conference and be like, "Look, I need a raise. Y'all need to hire some better people around here because what's going on right now isn't working for me. I'm tired of having to work nights or whatever it is your job is. You can't. You do that. There are consequences and repercussions. While I understand her frustration, I just think, dude, your team is 10-31. Kind of chill for a minute,
I mean, I see what you're saying, and I hear where you're coming from. I think if the franchise has put you in a position to where you're the face of the franchise, then you're going to be like, all right, you already knew what kind of player I was when you drafted me.
Mm-hmm.
If the franchise is like, yo, Josh, you're the face, you're the future of the franchise. We want some more. We want to go back to our glory days. We want rings. Hey, like, that's why we drafted you in the first round. We'd be like, bet. All right, this is what we need to do. Y'all trying to get back to the glory days. Let's talk about it.
Right.
We are 10-31. We haven't been that great.
10-32, technically. Sorry.
Oh, 10-32. We are barely past double digits in the win column. Like, we just got there. Like, that's what it sounds like. We just got that win. And, like, I need some stuff done. Like, we're trying to win. I want to win. I got players on the team who half want to be here. They all know that we suck. I'm one of the best players on the team. I've broken records. I'm on the face of 2K26. I have my own shoe. My uncle is Shaq. Bring me somebody that's going to help us win. Like, bro, I'm tired of losing. I'm not used to losing.
Right.
I'm a champion. I've been to the Final Four. I've got a ring. Bro, you drafted me here so we can win. Bring somebody else over.
Well,
Kevin Hart, help me, nigga, please.
Well, the thing is this. They keep losing like this, they might be in the Juju sweepstakes. So there's always that.
That's true. Maybe they're tanking on purpose so Juju can come on.
I don't think that franchise is run well enough to even consider that, to be honest with you. So, all right. So with Andrew Reese being out of the game, let's talk about another player who's in the game. So don't talk about the New Jersey Nets, the Brooklyn Nets. I'm old. Sorry.
You went retro. You went early 2000s.
I know, right?
On that one.
We don't talk about the Brooklyn Nets a lot, but Cam Thomas signed his 1-year extension. Cam Thomas is like Kevin Durant's protege. Kevin Durant has spoke highly of him. I somehow ended up watching a lot of Brooklyn Nets basketball in like the last month of the season, even though he was out. Mm-hmm. That team plays hard. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't like that Michael Porter Jr. is over there now. I think he's going to disrupt that chemistry, but that team plays hard. They didn't win a lot, but they played hard. I like Cam Thomas. I think he's a good piece. I think he's young. He's a vital piece, and I think he's a piece that they can build around. That team doesn't have a lot of talent right now, but I like the extension. I think he deserves more years. I know he was trying to get more years, but I like him in Brooklyn.
I think I like him in Brooklyn too. I think I would want him to be on another team. I think he deserves to be on a winning team. But I think Brooklyn is a good franchise for young players to go out and flourish. I think if I'm looking at it from an outside perspective of like, I have a player that is a hooper. He's not a ball player. He's a hooper.
Yep.
And he's bringing that extra grit to the team too. Like, if nobody's gonna score, I'm gonna do it myself. I agree that he deserves more than 1 year. I think he really deserves more money too.
Yeah.
And then I'm surprised that like he didn't get a lot of interest from other teams though. That's my thing.
I think a player like him, teams are worried that his numbers are empty calories. Like your team doesn't win. So you're putting up great numbers. You shoot pretty well from the field. You play decent defense, but nothing is translating to wins. So can I count if I put you in a winning environment? Are you going to be the same player? And I think that's why most going to be hesitant about him. It's not talent, it's not ability. It's about are these empty calories? If you're really competitive and things matter, will you come to ball? And for him, it's unknown because he got caught up, unfortunately, in the whole blowing up of the Nets when KD and all that left. So when they were kind of competitive, he was still a rookie, and so was still kind of he didn't have a role on that team yet. And then they blew it up, and then they've been kind of trash since then. And I'm gonna tell you about, they're not trash. They are a young team who plays hard, because I think there's a difference between a trash team who just plays like trash, and they don't. They actually play really good basketball. They just don't have the talent to really beat anybody. But the East is weak this year, so you never know.
That's true. And they gave a lot of tough teams a run for their money. I know specifically they gave Golden State like a run for their money too. These young teams out here, man, like they're something nice. I like the Michael Porter Jr. addition to the Nets though. For one, I think it's a banishment thing, and I like it. He's showing up too much on my social media page and pissing me off. But I think I like it because they need more scores, and I think they have a lot of average players that are doing they have reached their ceiling. Like, you've still got Nick Claxton over there who has a really high ceiling, but you got to add some extra players that can really, bring him to his potential over there. But yeah, man, I think the Nets are going to be like the next Houston Rockets, honestly.
Ooh,
I think they just need like the proper coach to be really embedded into the culture. I think they need another Ime, honestly.
They are about 3 good players from being the next Rockets. Maybe in 2 years, But
I think 2 years, man. Yeah.
They've got some more. They've got some talent gaps right now. Like that. Like when they blew up the Nets, they left the cupboard kind of bare, and they're kind of building. But we'll see. Again, what I will continue to say about the Nets is that they play a good brand of basketball, and those men play hard, and all respect to them. So speaking of with Cam Thomas staying, there are some people who are forever, and some people we just got the recent Hall of Fame induction. The Redeem team was a part of that. Carmelo Anthony winning, Billy Donovan, Dwight Howard, Sue Bird, Sylvia Foles, and Maya Moore. So these are the new immortals now, and it's crazy that we are. When I see these inductions, it's how it ages me, right? Like Carmelo Anthony is in the Hall of Fame now. That's wild to me. I remember Carmelo Anthony, Oak Hill, hair everywhere, like he was in Slam magazine, right? So that's so him in the Hall of Fame now is just wild. So before we get to him, let's talk about the Redeem team. The infamous 2008 USA team that kind of got USA basketball back on track. What are your memories of this team?
I honestly, I don't have a lot of memories of it. I think 2008 or 2009, that's when TJ started playing basketball. And then that's when I started watching more basketball so I could keep up with him. So I know for sure I don't have too many memories, man. I don't have anything deep in the memory bank. I looked at the names, I was like, oh, dang, this is great.
Yeah. So for me, it was kind of the return of Kobe. I think that was a turning point in Kobe's career where he was kind of on the other side of his prime, but still really good. And so people were looking at him as, the leader of that team. LeBron was entering into his prime. Dwayne would already run a chip, I think he had already won a chip. And so it's this weird thing where 2004, LeBron, Wade didn't play in that team at all. Larry Brown did not want to play young guys, and so they didn't play at all. So they came back and they all balled out. That documentary of Kobe running through Pau Gasol because he's like, he told his team, he's like, yo, I'm going to run through him. And they're like, that's your boy. He's like, I don't care. I'm going to run through him. And he did it. And that team just seemed like so much fun. They just played with just fun. And it's like that. That's my core memory of this team is that they had fun. When I think of the original Dream Team, it felt like business, right? Like even as a kid, it just felt like they were like, we're over there to take care of business, and they're blowing out Angola by like 80 points, right? And so with this team, they just felt like, look, we want to have fun, but while we're having fun, we're going to embarrass you guys. We're going to be silly. We're going to be stupid, but we're going to embarrass you guys. It was just an embarrassment of rich. You can't, there's a fast break where it's like LeBron bringing it up and you have Kobe and Dwayne Wade on the wings. Like that is just like, that's on a three. That's just like, what? It was just an embarrassment. It was just, yeah. But with this Hall of Fame induction, one thing I do want to talk about is Carmelo Anthony. I think Melo is one of these players when we look at the NBA who get caught up in eras, and because he crossed a couple eras, you don't really think about him the way you should, right? So he was a part of the Kobe era a little bit. He's definitely part of the LeBron, Steph era, and that's kind of where he kind of ends. I fear that players like Kevin Durant are going to be like that, where they're like, okay, where does he fit? Because it's like, but except for with Kevin Durant, you can say, okay, he's a champion, and there was a moment where we could say he's the best player. Melo never had that moment, but Melo had something that the rest of them didn't, and Melo was culture. People love Melo, and it's like, no matter what the press said, no matter what other people said, the fans love Melo.
Yeah.
And he won't, and look, I think he's top 10 in scoring, I think, or top 15 in scoring. So he's never going to be number one on any of those lists.
Yeah.
But the fans, people love Melo. It's like, it's like in his time in Denver, his time in New York. I don't count the time in Houston. That didn't exist. That didn't happen.
Or the Blazers or Lakers.
Yeah, that didn't happen either. The 1 year, the 1 year in OKC, he was good.
He was okay.
He was decent. He was what they needed. He was what they needed. What they needed. But New York Melo, that was, like my biggest regret for Melo is that, and I know he spoke about it on this podcast, is that I wish he went to the Bulls. Like they had a chance to get him, and that team had Derrick Rose, who was still kind of healthy, and I think that could have changed history. But
I think so too. I think New York Knicks Melo is probably my favorite Melo, along with Hoodie Melo.
Oh, Hoodie Melo's, yes.
Legendary. But I think I saw a different Carmelo Anthony than I saw like with the Denver Nuggets. He was his post game. I've always known Melo to be a mid-range scorer and is known to be for his post game. And he's literally known as one of the toughest players to guard because he's so strong. Like he would make his way to the rim. And I think if he still played, if we looked at prime Melo, would you say New York was prime Melo?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
All right. We look at prime Melo at his age with the Knicks, and he plays in this league in today. Do you think he would have won a ring?
If he played in this league in his prime,
along with the current Knicks roster.
With the current Knicks roster. Yeah, because I don't think they really have a small forward who I would pick over him. I mean, Josh Hart
Maybe like
plays small
OG.
forward. He plays 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So the way, depending on how the coach wants him. So I think Yale, because they don't have a knockdown shooter that Melo is, and Melo that mid range that and that that's that they don't have that. Like Brunson creates, but everything Brunson creates, it just looks hard. Like it looks like there's nothing about Brunson's game that's easy, right?
Yeah.
Where Melo, it's like you get him to a spot, he knows where his spots on the floor are, he knows how to move, and he gets a shot off. And he doesn't have to dribble the ball into the ground for 20 seconds to get his shot. Like everything seems easy with him.
Yeah.
And you don't have that with Brunson. And in the playoffs, you saw that sometimes you need easy shots. You need someone who can get their shot quickly, efficiently. And so, yeah, I think Melo on his current prime Melo on this team, definitely. Hoodie Melo, of course. Hoodie Melo is averaging 50.
Legendary. Listen, if you can wear hoodies on the court, oh my God. I think he does. I do think that he's an unappreciated and undervalued player in the history of the NBA. Like, I think, people forget how phenomenal he was. It was watching poetry in motion, man. Like post game, mid game, triple threat, jab step back, pull up, like high scoring games. He's had how many career high 50-point games? Like, bro, the dude was a beast. And I personally believe that if you play with the current Knicks roster, he would have won a ring for sure. I think he would probably only win one ring, but it would be enough to help, solidify his career, because we're stuck in ring culture, right? Like,
yeah,
that's the thing. And it's happening with Kevin Durant too. Like he's going to be another player that's going to be like, oh, he only has 2 rings or something like that. And that's it.
Like, because of the obsession with rings in NBA talks, you have players like Penny Hardaway who are getting washed away.
Yeah.
We're like forgetting what they meant to the game. Mm-hmm. You have players like, even though he's still popular, a player like Charles Barkley, who people are diminishing his greatness because he doesn't have a ring. Yeah. Carmelo, never mind, bad example. We need to diminish him as much as possible. We have these players who during their time were one of the best players, because we're like, okay, how many rings does he have? Look, everybody's not going to win a ring. That's not how like sports work. Mm-hmm. I think we've got used to people just like, okay, I'm just going to jump ship when I can't get a ring, and here's just what I'm going to do.
Exactly.
But everyone isn't going to have that ending. Like everyone's not going to be a Al Horford who just toward the end of his career gets a ring, or Gary Payton who just happened to be on that Miami Heat team and he got a ring, And like I often forget that Gary Payton has a ring because he didn't really mean much to that team. Like Seattle Gary Payton is what I know, right?
Yeah.
So it's yeah. I mean, Melo had 4 50-point games, man. It's like 50 points isn't easy.
That's so hard.
It's like, that's not like, I know we're in a point explosion in the NBA right now where we have people who have seem to drop yearly. At least one person hits like 70.
Yeah,
bro, 50 points and probably 1 or 2 threes, maybe during that era for him.
That's when you could play some real hand checking, beat down defense.
It's wild, yeah, but yeah, I think there needs to be more of appreciation for Melo and his game and kind of what he meant to the league. I mean,
I agree.
I can't say it more in that Melo is culture. Like, there's a lot, like Melo is the child of Allen Iverson. Like, that is like where great players didn't get a ring, but what they meant to the league. And to me, it brings a broader like discussion of, when we talk about face of the league and what that really means is who actually forces the league to change, right? Allen Iverson was never considered to be like the best player at anyone, like the best player in the league maybe except that 1 year in the league. But what he did to the league, he forced the league to change, right?
Yeah.
I think there is a case for Melo. I think, and then on a kind of internally where we have someone who won like Steph Curry, had more impact of changing the game than someone like LeBron. Even though by all intents and purposes, LeBron is the better player, and LeBron means a lot to the league.
Mm-hmm.
But LeBron didn't change anything, right? And that's not to dismiss his greatness. It's the fact that when it comes to how the game ebbs and flows and what happened, these are people who either impacted the culture of the league, which how the league like presents itself, like a Melo or AI, or how the game is played. I mean, AI is on how the game is played also, but how the game is played with Steph Curry,
Yeah. I think that I agree with what you're saying. My only pushback with the LeBron impact, he made it okay for teams to have a super team. Because if LeBron never went to the Miami Heat, then Kevin Durant would have never went to Golden State.
Okay. Didn't know we were going to go there. I have a question for you.
All right.
Was that a good thing though?
Yes. I think it was a great thing.
Really?
I do. I think it was a great thing. Now, here's my issue with LeBron. This will be my only issue with LeBron. He team hops too much. He team hopped way too much because then he left Cleveland to go to Miami. Makes sense once you understand ring culture. Okay? Leaves Miami, goes back to Cleveland. Should have finished your career at Cleveland. He gets, one ring at Cleveland.
Yep.
Then he leaves to go to the Lakers for, why? But, my other thing is, if that doesn't happen, Kevin Durant doesn't go to Golden State. Then Kyrie and Kevin Durant never happen. And then if LeBron didn't do all that stuff, we wouldn't have all these teams trying to have all these players on the same team, like Russell Westbrook, James Harden. No one would ever thought that they would reconnect again to build somewhat of a super team. And then who else was out there? Oh my God. I think there's there's one more team I feel like I'm forgetting.
But think about it like this though.
Yeah.
He's the only one. And I guess maybe you can count Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant and LeBron are the only ones where it worked. Right? And Kevin Durant and Golden State, right? It didn't work. It didn't work in Brooklyn.
It could have if Kyrie
it could have, but there were lots of things going on, right?
Yeah.
And I think super teams, I think we have to kind of qualify what super teams are because teams have been trying to put three really good players together, and it doesn't really work, right? Like we saw with Kawhi, Paul George, and James Harden in the Clippers, that didn't work.
That's a super team.
Right. It didn't work. And I don't know if you want to call Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Lonzo a super team in Chicago. No. So I guess my point is it's worked in limited examples, right?
Yeah.
But I'm of two minds of it. I like the fact of player empowerment. I like the fact that players are saying, "Hey, this is where I want to play."
Yeah.
What I don't like is the fact that you have teams blowing up their teams to try to accommodate these players, and then are like, "Hey, Phoenix, for example, we have 2.5 great players, and the rest of this team, y'all just gonna have to figure out, right?
Yeah.
We just have to figure it out."
Yeah.
And so you look at that, whereas if the front office just been like, okay, look, I think we can just make this happen with just KD and Book, and we can still be a really good team and contend.
Right.
We don't need a Bradley Beal. We can kind of build around those two. That's enough. But people, they kept chasing it and they kept blowing up these teams. And when they do this, when the super team doesn't work out, the teams that like the Suns are scraps now.
Yeah.
There's like, look,
It's
Book,
back to Devin Booker all over
right?
again.
Look, Book might average 40 this year because I mean, he's probably going to put up. Remember, like, it's for him. It's going to be that year where Kobe scored Kobe scored his 81, where because the Lakers weren't good, it was really him against the world. So we may see a Devin Booker year that's very similar to that because the Suns aren't good. They don't have talent. They don't have. There is nothing positive about
anybody. Well. Dylan Brooks is over there. Jalen Green's over there now.
I would still listen. I am shocked that Jalen Green is still there. And look, listen. We've talked about this before. I like Jalen Green. I'm surprised he's still there because I'm just like, look, you got Devin Booker. You could guess you could bring him off the bench, but
a bench player. Really?
Do you really need? Do you really need Jalen Green in the Phoenix? You know,
yes.
But I just don't see where he fits. I mean, he has played point guard. I don't like the fit. I don't like to fit him and Devin Booker. I feel it's very Bradley Beal, Devin Booker-ish again.
I think it'll be a good John Wall, Bradley Beal situation because Devin Booker is actually a 2 guard. He literally has no reason to be a point guard. Agreed. And he was only the point guard because Kevin Durant was there and Bradley Beal was there. And Bradley Beal
was such a bad idea.
Terrible idea. So I think if we take a step back, we know the team is trash. And then they have Dylan Brooks that's going to play the 3. So, and he can shoot every now and then when he's not talking trash. But like, I think it might be a John Wall, Bradley Beal situation, but on a bigger market. And I think we'll see that flourish. Devin Booker is still very young. He signed a 5-year?
Yeah, something like that. He signed a max deal, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's not like they're gonna trade him or he's gonna leave. He loves Phoenix.
Right.
I think Jalen Green has the ability to officially tap into his potential, but they need the right coach to do that. Like
they need a lot of things in Phoenix right now.
He needs a shooting coach. That's for a fact.
Yeah.
Bro needs a shooting coach. He can punch out on anybody. He's fast. He can be aggressive. I think he just needs his confidence. Just needs to be there. And I think his off the court, drama. Bro. I saw him on a Calvin Klein commercial, and I was like, bro, why aren't you in the gym?
I don't mind that. These guys aren't robots. Get your money. I don't know. That Phoenix team is just, again, I will watch Phoenix just to see what kind of outrageous numbers Book is going to put up. Like that'll be the only every day. Like honestly, I will watch a Suns Kings game just to be like, Devin Booker's going to score 60 tonight. I'm going to watch Devin Booker drop 60 tonight. I'm going to stay up till like 1 o'clock my time to watch Book drop 60 because
that's wild. That's wild. Oh my god.
Be like, oh, league pass. Wizards against Suns. All right, Book's going to drop 50. Guarantee he's dropping 50 tonight. All right, I'm tuned in. I'm there. All right, man. So those are all our topics. There's another good episode for us. Episode 25.
Yes,
making good headway. Thanks for everyone who's been tuning in. Again, thanks to Southern Edge for being our sponsor. Like, subscribe. Don't be a hater all your life. J Mo, anything else to say?
Nah, man. Love everybody. Be safe. Do smart things. Don't be dumb. You only got one life to live.
Word. All right, y'all. Peace.